Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be talking about what it means to take responsibility for our side of the road, or rather, what it means to let people take responsibility for their side of the road. This works in hand. This works hand in hand really beautifully, and what it means to be a leader of your own life, irrespective of what other people are doing around you. So, if somebody, for example, is an alcoholic and somebody else is giving them alcohol, like he's a recovering alcoholic, he's trying to quit or he's been sober for so and so days, and somebody else comes in and starts offering him alcohol, the person says no. The person that offerer offers again, like, can you want some, take a little bit, take a little bit, like the way people goad many times when they see somebody else not doing something, and the person says no again. Now the person gets irritated. The person is, like, let's say they're friends or whatever. That person knows very well, the offerer, that the offeree is an alcoholic or recovering or trying to quit or sober for whatever it is. So the person knows that very well, right? And the person might even be their friend, might be, or an acquaintance or whatever, but the person knows very well that what he's doing is wrong. But the offerer still does that. The offeree can feel bad. So I have gone through this experience multiple times in my life, and I would feel really bad. I would feel like, I mean, I had not alcohol addictions, but other addictions, and I would be, trying to follow a diet or whatever, and the person would know extremely well that I'm struggling with following this diet, and the person would still offer me, and I would feel bad, and my relationship with that person would kind of break as in, like, I would really withdraw, because I wouldn't be able to trust the person, that the person has the best intention for me in their heart. So yeah, that is there, and it's just so how do we handle it? Like, so I would feel bad about it. I would feel actively bad about it, like, this person does not care about me, this person, like, and then I would feel unloved, I would feel uncared for and unloved. And this probably sounds normal, right? Like, of course you would feel uncared for and unloved if somebody is doing that. And they would not do that with their own, like, I mean, I had this friend at that time, she would do that to me all the time. She would offer me stuff, and but when her husband had the same condition that I did, she would not offer him. So I told her, like, you see, there is a huge difference in the way you're treating me and the way you're treating him. So I was super upset. So this is what I've come to take to take not responsibility, yeah, to take responsibility for my life, is to understand very clearly and not feel bad, basically not feel bad, but instead feel compassion for the person, is to understand that what the person does or says has got absolutely nothing to do with me, absolutely nothing. So when I feel bad, I just get entangled in that situation unnecessarily. So if you believe in karma, I will get entangled in the karma cycle, because then I would be like, okay, next life or whenever, at some point, I would want to um, pay back, or something, like, not that I want to actively, but like, unless I truly forgive, I will get entangled in that karma cycle. But okay, let's even put all of that aside. What this person is doing, if I understand that it has absolutely nothing to do with me, right? She is asking me to do something. She knows she's doing something wrong, or I mean, she knows pretty much that she's doing something wrong. She's asking me to do something because of her insecurity, because she's afraid. I don't know what rules go around this, but basically, like, people want to not have other people do better than they are doing themselves. So that's one of the reasons, one of the probable potential reasons, that people who are, people who will eat meat will always and often push people who don't eat meat to eat meat, or people who don't eat sugar will often be pushed by other people who do. Like, I had this instant as well. Once I declined on dessert and I wasn't having sugar, and this person spent like 30 minutes to an hour just super upset and telling me, no, have some, have this, have this, have this, have this. And I was shocked. I was like, what in the world is going on, right? Like, what is this? He was insisting so much. And I've had many, I'm vegetarian, I've had many people who eat, friends who eat meat who've been really pushing me, and like, I mean, who used to, now they don't. But for years, they would push me, no, have this, have a little bit, it's tasty, it's good, there's nothing wrong. They would just, I was like, I'm not having it, just that's it, end of conversation. I would say that, end of conversation, like N-O, capital N-O, I'm not having it, stop it, but they would still do that. Why do people do that? It's because they know that they're somewhere doing something wrong and they don't want the other person to exceed where they are at. So it's insecurity. It's that person's insecurity. If you're trying to push somebody else to do something they have absolutely no desire to, and they've made very clear they don't want to do, that's not because you're doing something for them, it's because you're doing something for you, right? I mean, in some situations when you're actually trying to help them and you can see that they're headed for, they're going to fall off a cliff and you're trying to protect them, that's a very rare thing. But in this case, they're not falling off a cliff. They're in fact, being very healthy and good. So what the other person, the offerer, is doing is completely their choice. It's completely their life. It's completely their traumas that are causing them to act out in insecurity and fear that if this person crosses me, or maybe other reasons also, but likely if this person crosses me, then I will somehow be less than. And if I am less than, because I have to be the best, this is what the ego does. I have to be the best, and if I'm not the best, then I'm unworthy, and if I'm not worthy, then I'm not loved. It all boils down to being loved. So that insecurity and that fear comes from, so the modern psychology says it comes from childhood trauma, but I say that it comes from past lives as well. So I call it anarthas. All of these flaws, character flaws that we have, that we bring, all of these fears and greed and envy, and all of that, they are called anarthas. It's a blanket statement that includes all kinds of things, not just childhood traumas in this lifetime. So yeah, so this person is bringing their anarthas. So what we can do, we have a huge amount of anarthas, right? A huge amount of anarthas also. So it may not come out in this way. In my case, it doesn't come out in this way, but it comes out in many other ways, right? And the fact that I'm getting upset at the person, it also comes out in that way. It made me feeling unloved and uncared for because of that, because it's got nothing to do with me. This is their anarthas acting out and playing out in this particular way. So what I can do is understand that it's absolutely not personal. It's not that that person doesn't care. The person is caring in the best way that they can, just like I'm caring about other people in the best way I can, even when my anarthas come out. And just the same way that I want the person to accept me for my flaws, I can accept this person for their flaws. So if I am very weak around this particular subject, right? If I am an addict, like an alcoholic or recovering a person trying to quit or something, so if they are weak around this subject at the moment, then they can protect themselves around this area. They can not be with this person if the person is drinking in that moment. Like they can go for a walk instead of going for an evening trip to the restaurant, because a restaurant, they might have things. So they can just change this thing. Like basically, instead of feeling bad that the person doesn't care about me, and instead of ending things, or instead of having to use your own willpower to say no when you know that you're emotionally not strong in that moment, just change the things. I mean, you can tell the person that I am dealing with this right now, and I think I want to be, not put the blame on the other person, but just say that I want to be in situations where these kinds of things don't come up. So let's go for a walk in the morning. Something like that, I would prefer to go for a walk in the morning. Just be upfront and honest, not saying that you are the person who makes it difficult for me, but just simply say that the evenings are difficult for me because if we go to or restaurants are difficult for me because of this. So yeah, you let the person in, but you say, let's go for a walk in the morning. And then if the person says, let's go to a restaurant, it's easier to say no to that. And you can say, no, I don't want to go to a restaurant. And or if a person is an acquaintance, if the person is not a close friend, you can simply not even say. The best way is to not say to the person, I don't drink, or I don't have caffeine, or something like that. If the person is offering, the offerer is offering, just say, no, I don't feel like it. Then that's a whole different conversation, and the person isn't triggered that, oh, this person's doing something better than me. It's just like, yeah, I'm not feeling like it right now. That's it. So then because you're not triggering that person's insecurity, you're keeping yourself safe as well. And that person is not, like, you don't get entangled into this fight. So, okay. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Wish you a day filled with lots of strength in the week, in your weak spots. Radhe Radhe.